Hello, my first grade friends. It's Mrs. Real here. Today I have a lesson for you about insects. Before we went on break, back before spring break, and then we didn't get to come back, we had started talking about insects, and I read to you a couple of books. I happen to have them here at the house. This is the one I'm going to talk about today. We're going to go back through this one and remember all of the things we learned about different parts of the body on the insects. And I want you to pay careful attention because after we're done reviewing all of this, I'm going to teach you a game that you might want to play with your family while you're home. So, as I said before, I'm learning how to do all of this meeting stuff. I am going to get our camera going here. Apparently I'm not. There it is. There it is. Took my camera a second to find it. Sorry about that, guys. Here we are. So, today first we're going to start with the insect's body. Now, remember when we were talking about these books, these are the kind of books that you find on the other side of the library from where you usually sit with me. This is a nonfiction book. It's a book that's going to teach you information or facts so that when we get time to do some research, you can learn about insects or you can learn about other animals or any other topic that you like. So remember we had talked about in nonfiction books, like a chapter book, there's our great title page. There's a table of contents. It will tell you if you're interested in the insect's body. That starts on page 5. Then there's the head, the thorax, the abdomen. Do you remember those words? We talked about them before. The skeleton. And then some special things that these kinds of books have to help you with what you're learning in here is a glossary, that special dictionary just for this book. There's some things you could look at if you wanted to go online and do some more reading, further reading. And there's an index. And the glossary and the index were the things that I looked in to help me when I needed to know how to spell the word antenna, because it was kind of a long word. So here is our first part. I'm going to show you the pictures while I read the words that are there. So this is the insect's body. Nature's design of an adult insect sets it apart from other animals. An insect has 3 main parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Now, if you can see the words over here, the thorax and the abdomen are those words, special words to this book that are in big black bold letters. So on this ant, he has a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. On our bodies, we have a head. The thorax is kind of like our chest area, and your abdomen is where your stomach is. The head is the first part of the body, the thorax is the middle part, and the abdomen is the last section. The heads of most adult insects have 2 eyes, mouth parts, and 2 antennas. The eyes of most insects are unusually large for the animal's size. Look closely at the common dragonfly, for instance. Its eyes are like little melons. So its eyes, I'm going to use my little pointer. Its eyes are these big, round parts of its head, right there. And if you can see that texture part, they're kind of like little lenses. There's all kinds of things they see really uniquely. Insect antennas look like smaller models of automobile radio antennas. We also talked about the fact that this book is kind of old. In the olden days, you had a big, tall antenna that stuck off of the hood of your car or near the windshield, and that was how you got your radio. Now we don't use those anymore. Some insects, such as katydids, have long whip-like antennas. Moths have unusual feathery antennas. Wait till you see it. What? You know, there's a little bit of a glare. I'm going to try to lift it up and get past it. Do you see all those feathery-like things coming off of his antennas? Those are pretty impressive. Insect antennas aren't for style. An insect uses its antenna to smell and touch. Some insects even use their antennas as taste testers and hearing aids. An insect without its antennas is nearly helpless. An insect's mouth is just an opening to its head. The mouth parts around the mouth do the biting, chewing, and piercing. Mouth parts are much different from one insect to another. Beetles, for example, have jaw-like mouth parts. Certain bugs have long, sharp, beak-like mouth parts. Butterflies have neither jaws nor beak. Rather, butterflies and moths have a proboscis. Again, it's in a dark black font. The proboscis is a long, thin drinking tube, kind of like my straw. The proboscis, like a straw, sips nectar, a sweet liquid that flowers make. A butterfly or moth can coil its proboscis up like a rope when it's not in use. Here's some other awesome insects. This is a katydid. No, this is a stink bug. It's talking about his exoskeleton. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And this is a moth caterpillar. This is not the adult form of this insect, so it doesn't have 3 body parts with wings and antenna and mouth parts. So the head has the eyes, the mouth parts, and the antenna. It has those 3 things all on the head. The thorax, its chest area, holds muscles that operate an insect's wings and legs. Then wings and legs are attached to the outside of the thorax. An adult insect has 3 pairs of legs. Each leg is divided into 5 main sections. So if it has 3 pairs of legs, it's 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also we'll learn, talked about in another book, that insects can have wings, but they don't have to have wings. So they can have 0 wings. They might have 2 wings like this wasp does, 1 on each side, or it might have 4 wings and then there's 2 on each side like a butterfly. Just as mouth parts differ, so do legs. Insect legs are designed to help an insect survive in its own niche. A niche is a special place in nature where an animal best fits. Locusts, for example, have long, powerful rear legs for jumping in grass. Locusts are those big grasshoppers. Insects are the only cold-blooded animals with wings. Insects either have 2, 4, or no wings at all. There's that page. The most well-known 4-winged insects are moths, butterflies, and dragonflies. Common houseflies are among the 2-winged insects. This is a praying mantis, and they're very cool. And he has long, spiky legs. It says they can hold and grasp the insects that they're trying to eat and put in their mouths. The abdomen, put a hand on your stomach, contains most of an insect's soft internal organs. It's kind of where your guts are. An insect's organs keep its body running properly. Your stomach, your intestines, your kidneys, your liver, all that important stuff is in there. Many insects have a pair of tiny claw-like feelers at the end of their abdomen. That's way down here. The abdomen of many female insects has an ovipositor. It's a long, slim tool for laying eggs. So this is an earwig. Its abdomen has sharp pinchers at the end. That's where they grab their prey, and they also use it for defense. The skeleton. Insects don't have bones, but they do have a skeleton, an exoskeleton. An exoskeleton is on the outside rather than the inside. Your skeleton is your bones on the inside of your body. The insect's is the covering around it that's kind of hard and keeps it safe. An insect's exoskeleton is made of chitin. Chitin is lighter and stronger than bone. The muscles of an insect are attached to the inside wall of the exoskeleton. The skeleton covers an adult insect like a hard plastic jacket. And this is showing the katydid kept growing and getting bigger, so the exoskeleton was squishing it, so it kind of peels open and it steps out of the smaller shell and has the new one that's been growing underneath. Kind of like when you guys keep growing and your clothes get too short or your shoes get too small, and then you have to go up to the next size. The exoskeleton consists of ring-like sections. Some of the rings are molded together, others are attached by stretchy material. Every so often, a growing insect sheds its exoskeleton like an old coat. This process is called molting. A new, larger exoskeleton takes the place of the old one. So those are all the parts of an insect that we're going to talk about today. Here is the glossary at the back. So all of those words that were in here in dark black letters are now listed in alphabetical order, A through however far it goes, so that you know what some of those bigger, harder science words are. Abdomen, exoskeleton, proboscis. Then here's a list of, if you like this book, you might want to read some of these books. And then here's the index that tells me, oh, if I want to talk about antennas, and this is where I learned how to spell antenna, it is on page 6 and 9, and I can go to those pages and find out more information. Okay, so now that we've remembered, gone back over and revisited the fact that an insect's body has 3 main parts: head, thorax, abdomen. And that on the head, there are the eyes, the mouth parts, and the antennas. On the thorax is where the legs hook in and the wings come out. And the abdomen at the end is where all of its internal organs are. But sometimes at the end of that abdomen, they have some pinchers or some egg layers or some other part there. So today I have a game for you that you can play with your family. And we're going to create an insect. And each of you, as you go around taking turns, you're going to roll a die, and create your insect one part at a time. And the first person to completely finish their insect wins. So here's what happens. If you roll a 1, you get to draw your head, your insect's head. If you roll a 2, then you add the thorax. If you roll a 3, you get an abdomen. If you roll a 4, you get a leg. If you roll a 5, you get an antenna. And if you roll a 6, you get a wing. Now, head, thorax, and abdomen, there's only 1 each of those on an insect. So once you get your head, your thorax, and your abdomen, if you roll a 1, a 2, or a 3 again, then it's just, that was the end of your turn and you keep on going. But remembering that insects have 6 legs, you need to roll this number 4 6 times before your insect is finished. Remembering that an insect has 2 antennae, you only get 1 each time. You have to roll the number 5 2 times. And for the wings, remember that an insect can have 0 wings. So if you get all this other stuff and there's no wings, you can still be done. Or it could have 2 wings, or it could have 4 wings. But if you finish all the other parts and you have 3 wings, is your insect finished? No, it can't have just 3. It can have 2, or it can have 4. But if you've already added the 3rd, you have to keep trying to get the 4th. So here's what my insect is going to look like. This is how it might work if I was playing this game. Of course, I'm here in my office all by myself at home playing this game. I just rolled a 2. A 2 is my thorax. Remember, the thorax is the middle part. So I'm going to put my insect's middle part. I'll use my big marker for this part. Here's my insect's middle part. That's going to have to hook on my wings and all my legs when I get them. And then if I was having somebody to play with and they would roll, and now it's my turn again, and I'm going to roll. Oh, I got a 2 again. 2 is thorax. Do I need another thorax? Nope. So I have to give the next person a turn. And now it's my turn again. I have a 6. 6 is a wing. The wing attaches to the thorax, which is what is here. So I can add 1 purple wing. And there's a 5. 5 is an antenna. I don't have a head yet, but I know my head goes at the top, so I can leave room for it. And then I will add my orange antenna. 6, another wing. So I'm going to put my other wing on this side. So now I have one set of 2 wings. I could stop there if I don't want to do any more wings, or I could add some more later if I roll that number again. 4 is a leg. So also goes on the thorax. I'm going to use blue for my legs. Nope, let's do green for my legs. I don't have a green thing going on yet. Remember that insects have 6 legs and they have like a lot of parts. So there's 5 parts to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 1 leg. And I'm going to keep going. 2 is a thorax. I've got that one. 1, there's my head. I'm going to use this orange, like big marker. I'm going to add my head and connect it to my antenna. The head touches the thorax. My antenna's coming off his head. My insect is starting to look a little kind of cute. 3, abdomen, head, thorax, abdomen. Nice job. This is my last body part. Oh, that marker's kind of dried up. That one's better. That's where all its intestines and guts and stomach components are. So it's down there. All right, so now I have the head. I have the thorax, I have the abdomen. So I don't want to roll 1s, 2s, or 3s. If I do, I just have to skip my turn because I don't need any more of those parts. But I need 1 more antenna. I need 5 more legs. And either no more wings or 2 more wings because I have to have 2 or 4 wings. That's what insects do. There's a 6. There's my wing. All right, I'm going to add another wing because I can. And a 6. There's my last wing because I can have 0, 2, or 4, but I can't get more than 4. So those markers anymore. So now I need 1 antenna and I need 5 more legs. So I need a 5 and then a bunch of 4s. That's not it. There's a 4. That means 1 more leg. So I need 3 on one side and 3 on the other side. So I'm just going to keep going here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, a 4 or a 5. That's not going to work. I keep getting more heads. Oh, there's a 5. 5 is antenna. So here goes my second antenna. Okay, let's check. Head, thorax, abdomen. All of those are done. I have 2 antennae. I'm done with those. I have 4 wings. Check. I'm done with all the wings. I have 2 legs. I need 4 more. So I need to roll the number 4 more times before my insect is done. Because I'm playing by myself, I'm going to be the winner. If you're playing with other people, it's whoever gets their insect totally complete by the first is the winner. So there's a 1, there's a 1, there's a 1. Come on, ones, be done. 2, 5, 6, 3. I'm going to say, oh, it's a 4. Look, I get another leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's another 4. I'm going on this side. 1, 2, 3. And a 4. And finally, another 4. my bug, my insect is complete. Now, we also learned that on every insect, there are mouth parts of some kind and eyes. And you can even have some kind of stinger on the end of your abdomen. But there weren't enough dots on the dice for that. So that is my insect. So hopefully you have a dice somewhere at home. You can also use just a piece of paper and a pencil. I had a whiteboard and some markers, so I used that. And hopefully you have several people that are really needing to do something fun and exciting, and this can be it. So there are your numbers that you need to roll to create an insect on your piece of paper. I hope you guys have fun with it, because I had a great time, even though I had to play by myself. It was something fun to do today. So I will see you again soon, first grade friends, because we have some more insect things to talk about. And now I'm going to stop sharing. There you are, here I am. And I'll see you next time.